Okay, see what we got here. Give it a minute here to load up. Okay. Hey there, hope you're having an amazing Saturday, February 3rd. See what we got going on here today. This is from Meg Benedict, megbenedict.com. Enter the Eclipse portal. This looks like, when I check out this image, reminds me of the Jubilee. It's like fireworks going off. The Jubilee, many people are talking about this, that, hey, look at that little mantis, praying mantis, that this Jubilee, it was a Jewish tradition. The Jubilee goes back many years, and basically, I think it was like every 7 years or so, the Jewish patriarchy would wipe out all debt of its citizens every 7 years or so. It's kind of a strange concept, because if you think, well, if in 7 years I have all my debt wiped out, I might as well rack up as much debt as possible in these 7 years. But it's kind of this concept that it's all an illusion anyways. I mean, what is debt? You owe something to somebody else or a group. Now people are talking about this RV, the revaluation of currency, the GCR, the global currency reset, NASARA, which was an act that goes back to JFK times before he was assassinated. Supposedly he signed this with some kings around the world, like the king of Java, which I believe is Indonesia now. And Trump is supposed to continue that, create this jubilee, working with the White Hats, the Galactic Federation of Light, and the dragon families of China. But let me read you this from Meg Benedict here. We are now moving through the eclipse portal, advancing further towards the threshold point that culminates in a new moon solar eclipse on Thursday, February 15th at 27 degrees Aquarius. Now supposedly we are entering the age of Aquarius here. We are already in the age, no one really knows for sure, but we are right at that threshold. The 2-week window between last Wednesday's lunar Leo eclipse and the upcoming Aquarium solar eclipse provides a powerful collective shift in consciousness. Well, we're already shifting, we know that for sure. I mean, there's no doubt about that we're in some kind of shift. Many people talk about this event that is coming. The event will be here soon. Eclipses are extraordinary change makers. Now that's for sure. I mean, we're definitely changing here. The new moon solar eclipse acts like a threshold point for new beginnings, a doorway to launch your soul's life. It truly is a breakout moment. The Aquarian solar eclipse sextile Uranus provides positive changes to improve your life, increasing greater freedom, personal choice, and well-being. The solar eclipse conjunct Mercury emphasizes communication, thoughts, debates, and mental activity. This is a good time for writing, planning, and visualizing your future. Sorry about that if that sound is conflicting. What I'm going to do here, I was going to play this in a little bit, but I'll do that now because maybe the sound will be better. But here's from stopthecrime.net, this new flu biological warfare attack. Now I'm going to play a piece of this, and then I'm going to talk about these flus, the influenza, the weakening of humans' immunities. So I'm going to play this, and then I'll be right
This is
back.
Deborah Tavares with StopTheCrime.net. This is an emergency broadcast to let everyone know that is listening that this flu season that has spread through the United States is a biological warfare that has been induced upon us. So I'm going to talk to you about that now, read to you what the media is telling us, and then talk to you about the ways in which we know it's a biological warfare. Okay, so it is very important for you to understand that the Center for Disease Control is an agency whose purpose and sole purpose is to support vaccinations for Big Pharma. The CDC has been caught altering data on the MMR vaccine that causes autism, as leaked by whistleblowers within the CDC. Please watch the YouTube Vaxxed. The article I'm going to read to you below is misleading the public, because we are an agency network of corporations, and we are being deceived, and this is a genocide program. So here's what the article is telling us. 2018 flu season is shaping up as one of the worst in years, officials are telling us. The entire continental United States is experiencing widespread flu right now. The first time in 13 years of the current tracking system this has happened, according to the Center for Disease Control and Prevention. There's no prevention about anything with the Center for Disease Control. They are a genocide agency working for Big Pharma. Officials said that the flu season is shaping up to be one of the worst in recent years. The rate of flu hospitalizations and the number of people hospitalized with the flu per 100,000 nearly doubled last week. They go on to tell us that the latest data for the week ending June 6th of 2018 suggests the season may have peaked right now, the CDC's director told reporters last Friday. But she warned that many more people will be infected before the season is over. There's a difference between an active flu season when a large number of people get sick and a severe season when numbers of people hospitalized for flu or who die from the infection is usually high. It can be hard to tell in real time where a flu season will fall in the severity scale, because sometimes reports of influenza hospitalization and deaths, especially deaths among children, lag. That being said, this year is starting to look like a severe season for flu, and maybe more severe than last year, which was also bad, said the head of the CDC's influenza division. There's lots of flu in lots of places. Recently, there's been an uptick in activity by another influenza, and they talk about various viruses in this article, and they talk about warning that even if the season appears to have peaked, flu viruses will circulate for weeks to come, and people should continue to take precautions against getting infected. People over the age of 65 are being hospitalized for flu this season more than any other population. They're targeting that population for genocide. Even people aged 50 to 64 are being hospitalized in large numbers. Flu often hits the ends of age spectrum more than the middle, and that's the case this year as well. A grim tally may continue to rise in coming weeks of deaths. Officials feared that the flu vaccine may not work particularly well this season, but it appears to be faring slightly better than expected. Preliminary testing by the CDC suggests the vaccine is probably more protective than it was in Australia during its 2017 winter. The Australian interim estimate suggested that the vaccine was the main virus that was able to affect the H3N2 was the main virus that during their most recent winter was only about 10% effective, only 10% effective. That means if 100 people got the flu shot and all were exposed to the HN2 viruses, only 10 would have been protected. Again, only 10 out of 100 would have been protected with the vaccine. They go on to say that it looks more like the H3N2 portion of the vaccine is performing here like it did last year, when it was 34% effective at preventing infection. Unfortunately, that's about on par for the flu shot's H3N2 component, which is the weak link of flu vaccine. The CDC should have interim data on the question of vaccines effectiveness in the second half of February of 2018. Now understand, this is a fingerprintless scattering of bioweapons on the American population. Now I've had this vetted with higher-ups, and it's conclusive. This is part of the genocide program and the Rothschild and Rockefeller assault to transform the United States by all kinds of weapons systems, not only economic, but attacks with flus as well. So I wanted to read to you some of the sections out of the NASA War Plan. This will be linked under this broadcast and on stopthecrime.net, which reveals the following and is being executed by the U.S. Air Force, DARPA, the CIA, FBI, Southern Command, Atlantic Command, Australian Department of Defense, and many others are involved in the NASA War Plan. On page 51, it talks about the use of a fingerprintless scattering of bioweapons for war strategies and what they're doing here in this country. They talk about bacteriological viruses, fatal to disabling, short to long-term scales, undetectable, and binary means two-part systems, so they're using undetectable binary assaults on us as well. They talk about, on page 52, that airborne varieties of Ebola and Lassa, etc. This is germ warfare. And they are engaged with germ warfare on the American population. Long-term fingerprintless campaign as opposed to shock and awe. These are bioweapons. Note the silent weapons system for a quiet war is fully engaged. Page 53 of the NASA War document talks about use of existing biocommatives and infection, and ideal for incapacitating.
Okay, I'm going to stop that for now. I'm going to put a link in the description below for this video. What I have here is called Palo Santo. It's a wood from, most of it comes from Ecuador, maybe all of it. But Palo Santo, holy wood. Palo is wood, and Santo is divine, sacred, holy, saint. But this is a clear, this is shamans use this to remove the negative and add the positive, and I love the smell of it. And supposedly, it's in the frankincense family, or it's a distant relative, we should say, to that Middle Eastern sacred incense. But this supposedly will only create this scent from a tree that died a natural death, meaning that it fell over, or nature. If it's chopped down, it won't have this effect. So you can get that on eBay or Amazon or some of these metaphysical shops. I like that, and frankincense and myrrh and many other different incenses. But let's talk a little bit here about this biological warfare with the influenza virus. It's not the first time that potentially the powers that were, or the powerless that were, use these kind of tactics against humanity. If you look back at the times when the wars with the Native Americans, with the conflicts, not only did they give the Native Americans blankets with a smallpox virus on it, but they were also using the influenza virus, and it wiped out, it was some astronomical number, like a third of all Native Americans passed away from the influenza. I forget what year that was, but many Americans native and the Europeans that came here had died from the influenza. Let's see, influenza. I think it was early 1800s or something, like an epidemic or something. Let's see, U.S. influenza epidemic. Oh, it's now considered an epidemic. This is January 12th. The flu now considered epidemic in U.S. as hospitalizations climb during peak season. The CDC, Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, believe the nation is at peak flu season as the disease is now considered to be an epidemic based on its medical impact, the federal agency said today. So yeah, 1918 there was a flu pandemic. It was an unusually deadly influenza, the first of two pandemics involving the H1N1 influenza virus. It infected 500 million people around the world. Let's see, because I know there was a Spanish flu too. Let's see if I can find what year that was. Yeah, so right here, influenza, bubonic plague, European diseases that they brought over, pneumonic plagues like pneumonia, yellow fever, smallpox, and malaria devastated the Native Americans who did not have immunity to it. And this went on from 1492, from the time of Columbus, all the way up until the 1900s. So, yeah. Yeah, so in so let's see, given the consensus counted about 54 million people. Okay, that's just how many. Depopulation from disease. This is on Wikipedia. Yeah, now believe that widespread epidemic disease to which the natives had no prior exposure or resistance was the primary cause of the massive population decline of the Native Americans. So, biological warfare. When old world diseases were first carried to the Americas at the end of the 15th century, they spread throughout the southern and northern hemispheres, leaving the indigenous population in near ruins. No evidence has been discovered that the earliest Spanish colonists and missionaries deliberately attempted to infect the American natives. So they're saying there's no evidence, but there has been evidence that they were given knowingly blankets with smallpox, but you have to do research on that. I'm not going to get into that right now. You have to just look into it on your own, but I wanted to talk a little bit about what you can do to help boost your immunity. Things that I do myself and that I recommend for others. Now you can look up at some of my other videos on this channel, and you can see that I do a superfood smoothie every day with super green powders and leafy greens and raw organic eggs and nutritional yeast and vegan proteins. I'm not a vegan, but I have a little bit of meat and cheese and eggs, but all organic and free range, grass fed. But I'm about 80% vegan. Not that that's anything special, but I do believe in mostly vegetables, little bits of fruit, and maybe 8 to 12 ounces of protein a day. I recommend the ketogenic diet, low carb. especially if you're over 40 years old. You want to keep your insulin levels lower to help the human growth hormone, and especially in men to boost testosterone. You want to practice two main things, which is intermittent fasting, where you only eat a window from 6 to 8 hours in the day, and then you fast the rest of the time. So if you start eating at noon, your last meal will be at 6 or 8 at night. Some people do the warrior diet, which is one meal at night, one big meal, but it's tough, especially if you're working for a living, like most of us. So the ketogenic, the intermittent fasting, cut out sugars and processed foods. Like if it says something has more than 1 to 3 grams of sugar per serving of thing, then don't consume it. Cut out fast foods, eat whole foods. I steam vegetables every day. I drink teas every day. I also recommend a supplement. It's basically a supplement, but it's from nature. It's called Shilajit. I'll show you. Let's see here. Shilajit. It's Shilajit. It's from the Himalayan mountains, the Himalayas. See, it's black like tar, and it tastes like tar. Oops. Woo. Go. I put that about a pea size in my like a green pea, in my tea every day. Shilajit, the nickname in Tibet and China, is destroyer of weakness, conqueror of mountains. I got this on eBay. It's not cheap, but it goes a long way. I think this is like $40. Original Ayurvedic medicine. It's very potent. It smells like asphalt. It's like the earth. It's from like millions of years of decomposing organic material. Pretty much every trace mineral is in it, and some people have tested this, claiming that there's pretty much every element on the chart of elements is in this stuff. It's when the sun hits the Himalayan mountains, it oozes out this black goo. It's like a black substance that the Chinese say is very powerful medicine. The Indians use it, in India, and the Tibetans in Tibet, and the Nepalese, and there's also in Russia and the actually Mongolia, Altai Mountains. I've gotten some from there too, which is really good. You can see I've got this. It's called Mumijo in Mongolia. There's a big old jar. I got this on eBay right from Russia. It's black as tar. Whew. Has a little bit of a different smell, but it's definitely very earthy. I got this on eBay, but this is 2.5 kilograms. That's almost a 5-10 year supply here, if not more. So the only sweetener, like say you want some sweetener in your coffee or tea, I recommend stevia. It's plant-based. It has very little effect on your blood glucose levels. So along with the intermittent fasting, the whole food diet, if you do any dairy, eggs, meat, make sure they're free range, pasture raised, organic. And then I also recommend check out Wim Hof, WIMHOF, I also wanted to apologize if anyone's trying to send me a chat, because I can't see it right now. I haven't worked that part out yet. So if you're watching this, and if you can leave a comment below if you have any questions about anything I talk about in this video. Check out Wim Hof. Come over here. Oh. You can watch a lot of his videos. A buddy of mine trained with him in Colorado. He's goes by the Iceman. He has this special breathing technique. In Tibet they call it tumo breathing. It's fire breathing. We're taking a lot of oxygen and 30 some breaths, 30 to 40 deep breaths. Taking in more air than you're letting out, and then you release it all. Hold your breath out once all the air's out of your lung, and just relax, relax, relax. Hold it as long as you can until you have to breathe in. As you can see here, he is on the ice, balancing in a pair of shorts, that crazy man. Then when you can't hold it anymore, you take a deep breath, hold it in, tighten your abdomen and look up into your brain, and tighten your neck and head for about 40 seconds, and then you release it all. That's in a nutshell his breathing, but there's a ton of videos on here on how to practice it. See, the immune system hack. So I recommend his book, The Iceman, How to Never Get Sick Again, the Iceman method. So basically, you're doing cold immersions. You know, you can take your hot shower, but end it with several minutes on the coldest setting, and practice that breathing while you're doing it. And then once a week or so, you do an ice bath for 10-20 minutes, where you submerge your whole body in the coldest water, and you can put bags of ice in there too. But you can work your way up to that. And what happens, the white fat is, gonna convert to brown fat. Brown fat is the insulating fat. It's a thin layer of fat. The white fat is more for storing energy, storing survival kind of things, storing basically fat to use as resources for living off of if you're in some kind of survival thing. But we don't really need that today with how much food we have. So check his stuff out. He swims up in the Arctic and with the glaciers. Guy is a trip. I love his stuff. He's very high energy. This is a great interview with Joe Rogan. Some good stuff in there. So between that, the healthy eating, the superfoods, and cutting out sugar, that's really key. Cutting out these denatured, processed garbage. Your body's a temple. You need to treat it like a temple. So let me go back to this email from Meg Benedict here. Okay, I'm not sure where I left off, but I'm going to start back here. The powerful eclipses series occurs on the Leo-Aquarius axis and the planetary north and south nodes. Last Wednesday's lunar eclipse triggered the north node and your soul's destiny and life lessons. Leo North Node emphasizes the development of self-empowerment and love. The coming solar eclipse on the Aquarius South Node highlights past lives and the gifts you bring into this life. Fulfilling your soul's mission involves balancing personal focus, that's Leo, with the collective needs, which is Aquarius. The theme of feminine empowerment continues as these eclipses provide a spotlight platform for women's rights and building healthy relationships. The health of a society depends on how it treats women and children. The cogs of change are shifting what is socially acceptable as more speak out against misuses of power and sexual assault. The rise of Mother Goddess provides a safe haven for healing and mending the wounded soul. There are many wounded souls in this realm right now that need healing. And that great healing mother is rising up, the healing energies. The Aquarian solar eclipse lifts your focus off self, Leo, and opens your heart and mind to more humanitarian causes. Tap into the divine gifts you bring to the world. Head the cosmic call to influence the shift in consciousness to loving kindness and healthy communities. We have traveled from the future to birth a new earth. Check that out. Stonehenge solar eclipse global activations. So you can join Meg and Manette Mays with star seeds and light bearers all around the world for the solar eclipse global activation on Thursday, February 15th at 12 p.m. Pacific time. Okie doke. So I also wanted to come back to my website, primedisclosure.com. And if you go to my homepage on Prime Disclosure, be sure to subscribe to like my Facebook page to get updates. And we're taking donations for building biodomes in cities and a healing retreat in Ecuador. So whatever you can afford, we'll have something in the description below for if you have any cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, stuff like that. So you'll see here 10 ways to boost your immunity. Check out this article. I wrote this, let's see, in June 2016, and I update it frequently. So basically, it's 10 ways to boost your immunity naturally. So obviously, boost your gut health. You really want to do in the super greens. I have one that has probiotics and enzymes. So fermented foods are good: yogurts, kimchi, kombucha. Fiber, I put psyllium husk, organic psyllium husk in my smoothie every day. And then enzymes, I recommend Vitalzyme if you're going to take a multi-enzyme. It's a systemic enzyme, which is good for your whole body, your whole system. Introduce more superfoods such as the pink Himalayan sea salt, cayenne pepper, walnuts, eggs, apples, salmon, goji berries, avocados, black bean, shiitake mushrooms, stuff like that. Here's a video I put out on the superfood smoothie. I put some apple cider vinegar in there, organic, raw, and filtered. Colloidal silver. Now I have a machine that makes my own colloidal silver, but they found that it's a very powerful natural antibiotic that only goes after the nasty stuff, the nasty bugs. When you take a regular antibiotic, it destroys the good, the beneficial, and the harmful bacteria that's in your body. So if you can do the colloidal silver, check that out. Do some research. Exercise. Definitely 3 to 5 times a day, even if you're out hiking through the woods. Get out in nature. I do Russian kettlebells, joint mobility. Do body weight exercises, calisthenics, or calinetics, however you say that. Sunlight. You want to get sunlight on your skin. Help vitamin D. It's good for increases oxygen content in the blood and helps with depression. Meditation. I teach this system, Kunlun, from my teacher, Sifu Max. If you're in Cleveland, get in touch with me. I do classes once a month. I recommend Qigong, practice Zen meditation, Tai Chi, mindset, the power of positive thinking, focusing on gratitude, what you're grateful for, eliminating expectations, and practicing appreciation for your friends, family, everything you have. Good sleep and rest, that's critical. You got to get a good night's sleep, at least 6 to 8 hours a night. There's different ways to, things like herbal teas, St. John's wort or chamomile are good for helping you sleep. Some people have good benefits from melatonin. Detox bath, 2 cups of apple cider vinegar and 2 cups of baking soda, about no longer than 20 minutes. That's in hot water. Now you can do that once a week and then do the cold immersions once a week. Removing harmful immunity. This is probably one of the most important. harmful immunity suppressing foods such as junk food, fast food, McDonald's, processed sugars. You want to cut out breads and pastas too. They have very little, if any, nutritional value, and they spike your insulin. They make people fat. I mean, the standard American diet is full processed carbs. You want your blood to be more alkaline pH. Tea, one of my favorites, tea, the golden brew. I use loose leaf teas, different pu'er teas, which is a black tea, oolong teas, green teas, red, yellow, white. They're all amazing. I do tea ceremonies too in Cleveland. So if you ever want to take part in a tea ceremony, leave your contact info in the comments below. Then we also have ozone water. You can get on Amazon for like $40. An ozonator that puts the ozone bubbles in water, and then it creates H2O2. The ozone. Hydrogen to oxygen. So one of the ozone is O3, which is 3 molecules of oxygen. So one of those bonds with the oxygen that's in water to create O2, which H2O2 is basically hydrogen peroxide, which helps destroy harmful pathogens in the body and absorb more oxygen into blood and the body and bloodstream. Plus, if you have an illness or disease, I recommend, along with the deep breathing, like that. There's some places, health centers, that have the hyperbaric chambers, which help flood more oxygen in the body. These diseases and sicknesses, these cancers, diseases, they can't exist in an oxygen-rich environment. And then grounding. Walking barefoot on the earth, they find, helps neutralize free radicals, and that helps ground into the earth, helps with inflammation. The Native Americans would put someone sick into the earth, so you could try that too. I have I'll put a link to this video. I have a free PDF on my site, Take Back Your Power, a radical, safe, proven, and inexpensive approach to health using microcurrents of electricity. This talks about there's these devices you can put on your vein, on your skin, where your pulse is, like on your wrist, neck, stuff like that, to put a current into your bloodstream, which destroys pathogens and stuff. But it also talks about the ozone water and the colloidal silver, along with the current. The one doctor that put this information together, he was curing HIV and all kinds of immunity diseases with his techniques. So check those out. Now I'm going to jump over here to my YouTube feed here. We're going to check out some of the latest headlines today, see what's going on in this crazy world. Here we go with Alex Jones. CNN analyst threatens Trump, says FBI will get revenge. Ooh, scary. Here from Leak Project. It's a good channel. These cell phone statistics will freak you out. Latest scientific studies released. Here from H.A. Goodman. You want to check his channel out. Break-in Mueller probe ending because Nunes memo highlights Papadopoulos drunken conversation. It's a crazy world. Things are getting weirder. Massive asteroid will close approach to Earth. I wouldn't worry about that. If an asteroid hits, you won't even know it. Kooky Adam Schiff thinks FISA memo proves Trump's guilt. He's a real kook, that Adam Schiff. Cuckoo. Gotcha News Network. Obama, Lynch, and Hillary's worst nightmare is coming true. We shall see. We can only hope. Trump's releasing another memo. You'll love the next one here. Let's hope so. The ascension process isn't always a walk in the park. No kidding. Not at all. We're in that shift where everyone's feeling it. Next News Network. Alan Watts, be happy and know why you're happy. He's got some great stuff. I love listening to his lectures. There's a ton of them. Alan Watts, he was a genius. Heat anomaly appears in Antarctica. Cha-ching. Breaking, Tucker abruptly ends segment after Democrat accuses him of Putin collusion. We gotta end this us versus them stuff. I mean, if you still believe in the left and the right system, it's a joke. Uh-oh, they just found it all in her email. She's guilty. Uh-oh, look at these glowing red eyes from a demon-possessed freak. Andrew Bartz's, check out the Galactic Historian. He's got some great stuff. You can read the Akashic Records. He has some great info on his website and his channel. David Seaman, he's got some good stuff. Good information. Investigative journalist. Civil War, Trump versus the Illuminati intelligence agencies. Trump is the new JFK. America, it's time to take back our nation. From Anti-School, that's a good channel. I agree with most of the stuff. Some of the stuff I can't go along with, but he's got a lot of great info. 5 ways to become a powerful empath warrior. Able Danger, that's a great channel. Interview with MK Ultra victim, Agent McUltra. That's a fake name, but there's a lot of stuff on MK Ultra coming out. Disassociation, mind control, animal abuse in the Spanish writing school. Jason Goodman. Julian Assange exposes Comey's glaring hypocrisy over the FISA Memo. Here we got from Flat Earth Paradise, blood over intent, the halls of a mentee, our sleeping bodies. He's got a lot of great info about some of these changes going on in this realm that we are living. Cryon, the learning path old souls must learn. Cryon is a channel. It's good stuff. Danny Wilton, square root of 3. That's pretty interesting. Check his channel out here. It has a lot on sacred geometry and symbolisms. Pockets of the Future. He's always exposing these weirdos in Hollywood and the entertainment industry. Tom Brady makes out with 11-year-old son, proving he will do anything for 6 Super Bowl ring. Weirdos. I mean, there's these guys. Which demon banshee has the worst cackle? I'm gonna vote. Uh-oh. All of them. Can't stand the cackling of these Hollywood liberals and their minions out there. The satanic worshippers. Oh, look at Satanic Temple challenges abortion law. Stuart Swerdlow. He's got some good stuff. Glenn Kennedy, how they use sports to rule us, mind control. Breaking, second source comes forward, claims Rosenstein threatened Nunes if they didn't stop the investigation. Breaking, Eric Holder has a meltdown over FISA memo and unhinged tweet storm. Of course they're all going to have a meltdown because their time is up. The globalists, the deep state, the cabal, whatever you want to call the Illuminati and their minion, their puppets around the world, they're done. Their time is up. They're going to melt down. They're being taken out of this earth realm. Bye-bye. See ya later. They should have never messed with the children. Mueller just hit Flynn with unexpected news about his sentencing. Not sure what that's all about. Operation Disclosure, RV, Intelligence Alert, the revaluation of currency. That's from Gary Larrabee. He's got a lot of good stuff on his channel. End Time News. The Mount Shasta transmission. Steve Noble has some great meditations. The 5D portal for global ascension. He's got some great stuff. I like to listen to his meditations. And this is all just in the last 2 hours, so things are ramping up. You thought FISA Memo was big. Wait until you see the upcoming report. I'm sure it's just the beginning. Dr. Karen Zinn on fat and fasting, low carb down under. You gotta watch that. It's good stuff. Most damning FISA revelation involves Hillary and the DNC. Here we go from Leak Project. Dow drops 666 points. Sixth biggest daily drop on record. What's next? Come on now. You think that's a coincidence? 666 points. You know, points on a star. Do you get the point? William Mount, that's another great channel. Elites panic as vaccine companies sterilize millions worldwide. Look at this. Comey hugging that dude. Trump supporters react to FISA memo release. Uh-oh, are they having a breakdown, a meltdown? The FBI and security preparations for Super Bowl, whatever. I don't even know when that is. Maybe tomorrow. I think it's tomorrow, the 4th. I'm not sure. I don't follow that garbage. It's a waste of one brain cell. Must see, you won't believe your eyes. Here's from Alien Abduction, scary as it seemed. The cases may be as real as UFOs. Now my take on it, after 20 years of research, what people call aliens, or ETs, are really interdimensional beings. They're not coming here from millions of miles away or some other star system. They're coming from different realms through these gateways, through these stargates, through the Einstein-Rosen bridges, from parallel universes, parallel dimensions, higher dimensions, lower dimensions, inner dimensions, outer dimensions. That's what makes them extraterrestrial. Not that they come from another, well, it is another, but not in this realm that we live in, not in this matrix. They're coming from another matrix. So there's the flu biological warfare attack. Tracy Beans, the MSM flips. The mainstream media is starting to stand by the memo. Wow, it's a miracle. There actually might have some truth in the mainstream media. Oh, it's on CNN too. Wow, they really flipped. Check out Tracy Beans' channel. She's really good. Beans with a Z. I like this guy's stuff. James Munder. Barron Trump memo just the beginning. And hashtag breadcrumbs. I gotta check that out later. Sure, it'll be pretty good. Update on the memo. It's devastating and much more is coming. New moon and solar eclipse February 15. There we go. Cherokee Billy. So everything is ramping up here, people. Russian jet downed in Syria. I'm not sure if that happened, if it was an accident, or if it was intentionally shot down. Have to look into that one too. Nunes says there's another memo coming. fire in the sky, evidence of a global cataclysm 12,800 years ago. Yeah, people like to make up history here. How did they know it was 12,800? It could have been 13,200 or 50,100 or 1,200 years ago. They like to make numbers up. Is Sophia, the artificial intelligence robot, really capable of feeling human emotions? If you believe it, it makes it true. Your perception is what makes reality, so it doesn't matter if she really does or doesn't feel emotions, this entity, but what matters if you think she does or doesn't. And that doesn't even matter, because no matter what you believe, things are just as they are. Our beliefs don't really change truth or reality, or just our perception of reality. Largest deployment of federal security in Super Bowl history. Geoengineering watch. So you can see a lot's going on here. I'm gonna have to hit the road. I gotta go make something to eat here, but thanks for watching. If you were with me here, and be sure to subscribe to my channel below this video. Give me a thumbs up if you're kind enough, and share this video with your friends. Well, have a great day, fellow Lightworker, and I'll see you on the next video.